Amen.
Bob is going to do the first reading, Amy the responsorial. Roy, would you take the second reading and the gospel, please?
The first reading is from the book of Deuteronomy. Moses spoke to all the people, saying, "A prophet like me will the Lord your God raise up for you from among your own kin. To him you shall listen. This is exactly what you requested of the Lord your God at Horeb on the day of the assembly, when you said, 'Let us not again hear the voice of the Lord our God, nor see this great fire any more, lest we die.' And the Lord said to me, 'This was well said. I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their kin, and will put my words into his mouth. He shall tell them all that I command him. Whoever will not listen to my words which he speaks in my name, I myself will make him answer for it. But if a prophet presumes to speak in my name an oracle that I have not commanded him to speak, or speaks in the name of other gods, he shall die.'" The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to God.
If today you hear his voice, harden not your hearts.
If today you hear his voice, harden not your heart.
Come, let us sing joyfully to the Lord. Let us acclaim the rock of our salvation. Let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us joyfully sing psalms to him. If today you hear his voice,
harden not
Your hearts.
Come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord who made us. For he is our God, and we are the people he shepherds, the flock he guides. If today
you hear his voice,
harden
not your heart.
Oh, that day you would hear his voice. Harden not your hearts, as in Meribah, as in the day of Massah in the desert, where your fathers tempted me. They tested me, though they had seen my works. If today
you hear his voice, harden not your
hearts.
Oops, hold on a second.
A reading from the first letter to the Corinthians. Brothers and sisters, I should like you to be free of anxieties. An unmarried man is anxious about the things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But a married man is anxious about the things of the world, how he may please his wife. And he is divided. An unmarried woman or a virgin is anxious about the things of the Lord, so that she may be holy in both body and spirit. A married woman, on the other hand, is anxious about the things of the world, how she may please her husband. I am telling you this for your own benefit, not to impose a restraint upon you, but for the sake of propriety and adherence to the Lord without distraction.
Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to God.
Alleluia, alleluia.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
The people who sit in darkness have seen a great light. On those dwelling in a land overshadowed by death, light has arisen.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
A reading from the Gospel of Mark.
Glory to you, Lord.
Glory to you, Lord.
Then they came to Capernaum, and on the Sabbath Jesus entered the synagogue and taught. The people were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. In their synagogue was a man with an unclean spirit. He cried out, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God. Jesus rebuked him and said, Quiet, come out of him. The unclean spirit convulsed him, and with a loud cry came out of him. All were amazed and asked one another, What is this? A new teaching with authority? He commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him. His fame spread everywhere throughout the whole region of Galilee. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you,
Lord
Lord
Jesus.
Jesus
Praise
Christ.
to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Mm.
we made it.
Yeah, we did it.
We
We
did.
did it.
Small but
And
mighty.
to top it off, we had one of St. Paul's famous readings about married life or not.
Yeah.
I remember Jeff trying to put the proper spin on that they were expecting the second coming at any moment. So trying to focus people, I guess, but
All right.
that's a hard reading to listen to.
Well, right. Yeah, and last week or the week before, we heard an unmarried man should act as a married man should act as an unmarried man. I think it kind of goes back to that too. That if you've got a married man has much more things to worry about just with these things on earth, and it's harder for him to put those to the side and focused on God. And I think that's what this is saying as well, that it could be a distraction and take away your focus on holy things. So that kind of put that other reading into perspective for me.
I don't know. And yet God expects us to live as in this life, in relationships and married and
Right.
and
But I mean, it's a vocation. It's a vocation, right? And
yeah.
and
Right.
I guess that's
And a good one.
well, yeah, sure it is. And I guess being unmarried, that this goes back to why priests are not married. One of the reasons, anyway, because it distracts them from the flock, so to speak, the whole flock, the church and God.
I think it offers a
It's
great.
one of the arguments. I'm not going to go into the discussion. I was just thinking about this morning. I said, well, why is it that where is it that it says that women can't be priests? And now I see here. Well, this shows a little bit about why married people are not priests. But I'm still waiting for the other answer. So I'll reserve that.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say where I stand on that, but
Yeah. Anyway. Anything else, anyone?
I just want to add, I went to church last night and our priest had talked. It was kind of interesting. And we see it in the gospel again here where, Jesus says, kind of quieting down these demons because they knew who he was. But those people necessarily in the temple did not know they knew something was different about him, but they didn't know who he was exactly yet. So he was trying to he literally told him, quiet, go away, stop saying my name. And, and then he was also talking about how Jesus is the authority and God is the authority. And this was he brought this in talking about I think it was the Archbishop of San Francisco, where he was probably only one of the ones that have come out so far and have spoken against Nancy Pelosi, saying that she is not the Catholic authority. We don't listen to her. She's not the example of the Catholic Church. But he was saying that, God is the authority and he gives the authorities to these bishops and archbishops and priests, and we need to listen to what God says. And that just goes back to just plain and simple and basic. Just listen to what God says, and do as he says, not listening to some person in power like that. So
I still don't quite, I don't know, follow or whatever, Jesus telling the demons always to be quiet. I understand he wasn't his time, I guess, but would sure seem like he'd want people to know and maybe accept him, eat more easily. But what do I know?
as they say, in God's time, not our time, right? So
Yeah.
Yep. That's what it comes down to. Got to accept and trust.
Yep.
So, all right, guys, I'm going to run to church.
All right.